Hey, Stephanie here. Let's go deep because the truth is, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, if you're in a season where everything is falling apart, where the old no longer fits, and the new hasn't yet arrived, you are in the underworld. And the real question is, how do you navigate it without getting stuck? So, in a previous video, I talked a little bit about what the underworld is. Here, I want to dive into how you can navigate the underworld without getting stuck. And the first step is to stop fighting it. So, the first mistake that people make is trying to escape the underworld too soon. We resist grasp for control. So, we want answers fast, but the underworld is not a place that you can rush through because it really requires deep surrender, and not as in giving up, but as in allowing. Instead of asking, how do I get out of this? You ask, what is this trying to show me? In the underworld, you're letting go of the old identity, okay? So the underworld is going to strip you of who you thought you were. And this is where most people get stuck because they try to cling on to the old identities, the old versions of themselves. But here's the thing, the more that you try to hold on to the past, the harder that the process becomes. So instead, I want you to ask yourself, what part of me am I afraid to let go of? What story am I keeping alive? And this place is about facing the shadows without becoming them. Okay, the underworld is where you go to face your shadows without becoming them. That's the key. And here's where people tend to drown, because when you face deep emotions like fear, grief, anger, it's easy to become them, to get swallowed up by them. But the underworld isn't asking you to turn into your suffering. Okay, it is asking you to witness it, to feel it so that you can integrate it, because you're not meant to live in the dark. You're only meant to pass through it. You are the one holding the torch. So see, for us to really get to the true light, we have to go through the dark. But you are that light passing through the dark. You just have forgotten that you are the light. So it's important to ground yourself in presence, because when everything around you is crumbling, presence is going to be your anchor. So the underworld has no roadmap. Okay, it's messy, it's very disorienting, but your presence is your guide. So it's gonna be very, very helpful for you to stay in your body. Your body is where you bring through presence. Your body is the key, okay? It is your vessel. It is your interface in this reality. So feel your breath. Observe instead of reacting. It is only through dropping into your body that you can start to drop into the observer role, okay? So when you can sit in the unknown without running, this is where you start to gain the clarity that is hidden beneath the surface. Yeah, feel that for a moment. And just remember that while you're going through this process, that the underworld is not forever. There will come a moment when you have faced what you needed to face, and you're being called to then start to step forward. Okay? But here's the thing, you have to choose it. Some people get comfortable in their suffering because it is familiar. And so if you feel like the cycle's repeating, ask yourself, am I still healing, or am I resisting stepping into my next level? Because we don't realize how comfortable many of us have become being uncomfortable. You know, we are more comfortable in our suffering than we are stepping beyond it, because who are we beyond our stories? Who are we without our suffering? And so the underworld is an initiation. You don't escape it, you emerge from it. And the version of you that rises, well, if you make it through, it's going to be an unshakable, clear, and free version of who you truly are at your deepest core. So if you're right now in this place, I want you to trust yourself. Please surrender to whatever is being revealed, and remember that you're not meant to stay in the dark. You are meant to rise, and remember that you are the light in the dark. So I hope that this has helped you in some way, and I would love it if you leave me a comment and let me know if this resonates. Maybe share with me your own story, and follow along for more deep dives into your inner world if this is something that you enjoyed and helped you understand yourself, your inner world, or your journey a little bit